How can you stop office markers from bleeding through thin paper? Imagine finishing a colorful project or jotting down notes and then flipping the page to find ink smudged onto the next sheet. That can be frustrating, right? If you work with thin paper and markers often, you might wonder how to keep the ink from bleeding through. Well, the good news is that there are simple ways to prevent this mess. First, the type of paper you use makes a big difference. Thin paper, like standard notebook pages or printer paper, tends to soak up marker ink easily. To stop the bleed, switch to thicker paper. Look for papers labeled as marker paper or mixed media paper. These are usually heavier than 100 grams per square meter and have coatings that stop ink from seeping through. Heavyweight drawing paper or Bristol board are also great options because they have a dense surface that keeps ink on top. Next, consider the markers themselves. Markers with pigment-based or oil-based inks tend to bleed less than alcohol-based markers. Markers designed specifically for artists or crafters often have no bleed or low bleed labels. Using these can help keep your pages clean. When coloring, apply ink in light layers and let each layer dry before adding more. This prevents excess ink from saturating the paper and causing bleed-through. Another helpful tip is to place a barrier sheet underneath your thin paper. A piece of scrap cardboard or a thick sheet of paper can act as a shield, catching any ink that might try to seep through. This is especially useful when working in notebooks or pads with very thin pages. You can also avoid textured or very absorbent paper, which encourages ink to spread. For outlines or sketches, use waterproof or quick-drying pens first. These prevent smudging and bleeding when you add color with markers. If you are working in a sketchbook, inserting a plastic sleeve behind the page can protect the next sheet from bleed-through and dents caused by marker pressure. In the end, choosing the right combination of marker type and paper quality is key. Investing in good quality marker paper and markers made for minimal bleed will give your work a neat, professional look. This way, your notes, drawings, or creative projects stay clean and look great every time.